Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 versus 2 on Rockclaw Foothills. Playing on the southern side as the Necrons, we've got Eshan, and we've got Dazza playing as the Imperial Guard. And on the northern side, playing as the Dark Eldar, we've got Kara's Fate Weaver, and we've got Topper playing as the Eldar. So we've got a very mobile alliance going on here, the Dark Eldar and Eldar, putting aside their differences for the, dare I say, the greater good. Trying to capture this map with all the sand and stuff, maybe having a anime beach episode after they manage to conquer this. But then again, the Imperial Guard and the Necrons are quite apt for this kind of environment, considering that the Imperial Guard can just basically pop down structures down in the middle, and hopefully if they're able to get a field command maybe over here or here, they'll have the potential to deny all these lovely, juicy critical locations, maybe possibly a relic as well. But then again, the Eldar and Dark Eldar, especially in the tier 2s, do have quite a lot of mobile options in the forms of their dark scourges that are able to jump around everywhere. They've also got warp spiders, and so a fairly decent, actually, aircraft play for the Dark Eldar and Eldar. Should potentially be able to move over this negative space, so if the Imperial Guard do settle themselves down here, they can just kind of circumvent it and go for the economy. But we shall see how things play out. Already got some mandrakes coming out on the front here, capturing their bits and bobs. And I imagine the Imperial Guard, yep, they're gone for a whole host of conscripts, flooding their way over, capturing all their necessary points before then going for that central location. Nearest and dearest being captured for all. Will be interesting to see what the Necrons go for. Does not seem like they're going for a whole smorgasbord of attack scavs. You would normally see at least a couple of those guys just so that they're able to do some sort of harassment. And the attack scavs would actually be quite decent against these mandrakes, considering that they can only really attack things in close combat, as they've only got their stabby bits on them. But yeah, see how it goes. Actually, plenty of mandrakes for Kara's Fate Weaver here, going for a quick tier 1/2. Same with the Eldar as well. So actually, maybe not going to be putting that much of a fight for the middle ground here. Just going to put a cursory, complementary little fighting force over here to see if they can just contest it until they get into tier 2 or 1/2 even. Conscripts are coming out, and normally the conscripts won't do that much damage. You can't really assume that they'll win in a fight, but against a small amount of Eldar and Dark Eldar with their limited amount of health, they might actually be able to do a fairly decent job. Storm Guardians charging in, but actually a very melee-orientated force for the northern teams here. Storm Guardians cutting these Imperial conscripts to ribbons very quickly, but morale has been broken for them. And actually, yeah, one squad of Guardians has been taken down. Mandrake's now finishing that critical location, will attempt to assist their brothers and sisters in arms. But there's not enough of them to tie up all the forces. One squad of conscripts has been chased away over here, but just more and more are being flooded on in. Mandrake's still doing a very decent job. Conscripts over on the strategic point side, trying to capture some bits and bobs. Storm Guardians will see if they can chase them away. And yeah, even though they're able to quickly cut through these squads, like I said, there's just too many of them. Sheer mass of numbers being able to take care of the Eldar for now. What are you? Oh, you are you're a Tower of Loathing turret. Okay, that will certainly keep the critical location nice and sweet for them. But in saying that, look at that fast reinforcement rate. Only 4 blue money as well. So no risk of them being slowly shot down by that turret, but the Mandrakes are doing what they can. No more Storm Guardians now by the looks of things. It's now just Mandrake Central, seeing if they can do what they can, but no, it's just every time you look away, more and more guys come. Also can tech priest engines here, well, double tech priest engines here is coming forward, see if they can build up a listing post. Necron Lord teleporting in. And, oh, for a second then, I thought that the Imperial Guard conscripts were going to turn their attention to the Necron Lord and try and shoot him down, but no. They're allies in this one. Necron warriors, full squad of them actually, been spawned forth. So yeah, so no attack scabs for Mr. Eshan. Attention now being turned to the Tower of Loathing, trying to get some turret improvements, but on its own, even with its mighty structural armour, isn't standing up all that well and being quickly killed. So how are the Eldar going to deal with all this? Oh, a Viper with a... Yep, this will... Right, believe it or not, boys and girls, this one will win. More or less straight away. It's sounds implausible, but look at that. Just a couple of seconds of range combat, and everything is just absolutely murdered. Never mess with a Viper and a Shuriken cannon. It is ideal for mulching lightly armoured infantry. Does practically 0 damage against anything else, but I mean, in Tier 1/2, it's an absolutely lethal beast. And at the moment, yeah, there's no Tier 2 for the Necrons. Are in Tier 2 for the Imperial Guard, though, so won't take them too long to build up a counter for the Viper. Necrons, I'm not sure if they'll be able to resist the Shuriken Cannon much better. I'll have to see how they do. Yeah, they're doing a little better, but still not nearly good enough to stand up against the Viper. One whole squad being wiped out there. Attempting to build up a field command, which if they're able to get this up, will cause major problems for the Northern team. The Viper just killing all the builders, quick as you like. And now taking his attention to the secondary squad of Necron Warriors, which are also going to fall quick sharpish as well. Necron Lord doing a fairly decent amount of damage against it. Not nearly quick enough to sort it out. Shuriken Cannon doing barely any damage to the commander armor. And now he's going to focus on anything squishy. Let's see if we can do some damage to it. We're all seeing some more of these guys. Oh, we've not seen any more of them? Let me just click through all these. Oh yeah, we are. And these guys are going to go for some missile launches. So yeah, you would normally see them coming out in a little wolf pack, shall we say. One to kill infantry, one to kill vehicles and buildings. And the chunky Chimera assault tank comes out automatically with an auto cannon. Can all swap it out for a heavy flamer as well if it so chooses, but no, the Viper's very lightly armoured, can't really contend with any kind of pushback. Will have to use their mobility to avoid any kind of attacks on the go. Yep, and they will just jump over here. Like I said, their mobility able to help them. Not necessarily on a map like this, as no matter where they go, they will be going into the thick of it. But I mean, they've got lots of little cliffs and stuff that they can make use of, jump over. So now inside the Necron base, and killing a couple of plasma generators. As of course, if the Billiscards don't sort it out, but do seem to be out DPSing that repair rate. But being destroyed, one of them being destroyed, if I can get the centered structure of myself sorted out, and not quite being able to do anything there. So nice counter to those Vipers. Might seem that they're a little bit overpowered, but as you can tell by just how easily they're able to die by just a simple Chimera assault tank. Like your regular Chimera, can't carry as many boys, but does a fair bit of damage. Also now, the sensor is firmly within the grip of the Imperial Guard, using their long-range scanner to get a whiff of that Tower of Loathing, and we'll shoot it down gradually over time. We'll try to auto-repair itself, but will not be able to do anything good there. Got some Scourges. Also a webway gate for the Eldar, should they require to reinforce their front lines. Quick sharpish. A couple of Dark Lances, very quick reinforcement rate on those ones as well. Although you don't really want your Scourges to be taking too many autocannons to the face. They are anti-vehicle, but their armour, I mean, they are classed as heavy infantry, which is kind of a bit of a lie, really. They might have the heavy armour type, but they've got such low health, they may as well be conscripts for all is worth said and done, which has also been sniped out to non-existence. John Cena beam from that Necron Lord showing off that webway gate, as I imagine they're already... Oh no, you don't have the infiltration research on it at the moment, but you are going for some swooping hawks. But Ghost Ark quickly hoovering up the two squads of Necron Warriors that were killed, so we'll be able to recycle them for little to no cost. And just a whole squadron of Chimera assault tanks. Really difficult for the Dark Eldar and Eldar to deal with at the moment. Though once they get their anti-vehicle stuff online, should be no problem for them. It's just a case of getting it online. One Chimera assault tank close to death, but we do have a cheeky... Oh, I see what you're doing is that you're carrying a Tech Breach Engineer with you. That's a wonderful idea, actually. So we're able to keep them nice and safe, but a mighty Talos, does just jump straight on in. And turn around and slice away as best it can. And there we go. A useful Talos, dare I say it. Swooping Hawks are being slowed down by the Chronomancy trigger of the Necron Lord. Talos attempting to continue its useful lifespan, slicing and dicing one or two Necron warriors. I must say that it certainly looks bigger in Ultimate Apocalypse. Not sure if the model's been rescaled, but it feels bigger. Swooping Hawks, they're not vibing with it. They're going to fall back. Ghost Ark firing its deadly beams at its hull. It does go down. So survived a little bit. Wasn't too good there. Going to go for another Talos there. I appreciate the commitment, man. But it makes sense though. You normally wouldn't see a Talos because they're bloody useless, but if you've got Scourges and you need something at least a little bit thicker on those front lines, then why not a Talos? I mean, those Witches would be ideal, but I mean, against all this firepower, they will die pretty quickly. Very glass cannony are all the units for the Eldar. Yeah, that guy just charges on in. And can't really ignore him, especially since he can also tie up a unit in close combat as well. If he can get in there, pathing is his main weakness, I would have to say. There we go, all the Necrons now focusing on him, but they will teleport away. The cowards that they are not going to teleport down over on this side to a flanking maneuver on the Swooping Hawks. Swooping Hawks going to politely ignore them. Almost losing one squad there. Are on auto reinforcement there. Quite expensive at 60 blue and 10 green. But they do have a fair bit of economy. They should be alright. Now stabbing and shooting away at the obelisk. But it's the plasma generators that you really want to go for the Necrons. You're going to see some quickly built up attack scarabs, which should at least be able to keep these guys on their toes. Time up in close combat at the very least, keep on the move, but their movement accuracy is actually quite nice. And also fire backwards as they fly around as well, so much like a Seraphim for a Sisters of Battle squad. Keeping them on the move isn't exactly the best counter. Only really do damage against buildings and vehicles. They won't do that much damage against the attack scours, but using their jumping ability to go over the mountain ridge. And if they can take on a plasma generator or two, especially if they can get the chain explosion, but quite nice placement of these plasma generators actually. So even if they do get one section down, we'll have to then restart on another section, so it won't be like a conga line of death for any of these plasma generators here today. Go and see double mechanized commands built over on this side. Actually, quite a lot of mechanized commands for Daza here. Swooping Hawks causing all sorts of nonsense. Cascans been built up there. And all these listening posts upgraded to tier 3. Should do a lot of damage to Swooping Hawks. But again, the jump over. Trying to ignore people. We'll see a counter-attack from the Necrons here. Talos, though, still alive and well. Been supported now by a whole smorgasbord of Scourges and a Viper with anti-infantry capabilities. So a wonderful concoction of death for these guys. Double, in fact triple destroyers here. Scourges just going to walk by them, minding their own business. Talos very low on health at the moment. Swooping Hawk still being a nuisance. It doesn't seem that when the plasma generators are destroyed, they don't seem to have that same level of chain reaction as other plasma generators do. Destroyer been brought forth, but then been quickly shot down by the Swooping Hawks. Now we're going to see a Ghost Ark, but again, the same kind of details. That scenario. Do not want to send vehicles against these guys. Which is a bit of a pain considering that the Imperial Guard have gone for a mass amount of mechanized commands. They want to go for vehicles, but nice little bit of manipulation from the Eldar here. They go for a whole bunch of Vipers, forcing the Imperial Guard to go vehicles, and the moment that they've committed a lot of resources into vehicles, they then go for something like Swooping Hawks, which is not ideal for vehicles to chase after. But eventually, gradually over time, the Swooping Hawks have been out-positioned here. There's Cascans waiting diligently on the lines, or on the cliff edge even. Dark Eldar making the slow way down. Necrolord going toe-to-toe. An angry crab has been taken down. Big explosions. John Cena beam there, preventing the Scourges from taking out anything else on.
Skills are as sharp as my
The Autarch looking to snipe down that Necron Lord, but he does phase shift just in the nick of time. Very nice stuff there. Cascans now making their way forward. Field command has been finished, actually. Seer Council, very lethal, very tanky as well. Will be left to their own devices, but we do have... How many people do we have in the Field Guard thing? Oh, well, let's go to the Field Guard to be able to see them. Yeah, fully stacked Field Command. So we'll do a lot of damage to anyone nearby. Seer Council, they're shrugging it off as best they can. But gradually over time, more and more firepower have been brought to them. You might want to get those guys out where it's safe. I mean, are you sending any more reinforcements? No, not at the moment. Got another Viper with a shuriken cannon. But plenty of destroyers. And these Cascans, I imagine, have got their crack grenades online. Or if they haven't, they will probably do soon. What are the economies for everyone at the moment? We've got 183 and 119, 380 and 259, compared to 174 and 275 and 95. The strong economies for everyone at the moment. No real worries either side. Destroyers taking care of the Tower of Loathing. Necron Lord bringing back the boys with his Resurrection Orb. Very nice stuff. The fresh Talos. And also a Viper again with that Shuriken Cannon. They've got their Disruption Fields of, what was that, level 2? Level 3 maybe? I can't quite tell. The ball of energy on them. But a nice save from the Necron Lord using his phase shift to keep those Necron Warriors online while they make sure that the destroyers are in place to fire at that Viper. The Viper kind of ignoring the destroyer fire at the moment. But keeping everyone down this narrow choke point while the Imperial Guard just build up over on this side. Shining Spears being a nuisance. Attempting to get that decap. Did manage to get that decap over here from what I assume that the Shining Spears were up to.
Reporting for duty, sir.
So yeah, actually that there, I may have poo-pooed the mobility of the Eldar and Dark Eldar on a map like this a little bit too soon, because they seem to be making great use of it. Double Talos now. Very exciting stuff. Just picking apart the Necron Warriors one at a time. Vipers constantly being reconvened to do all their mischief and mayhem on the flanks. Necron Lord taking care of these Scourges on the back lines. And the Scourges on the back lines are what is the main stay of damage for those Dark Eldar. The Scourges aren't exactly going to be killing these guys anytime soon. And when the Talos jumps in, there's like a little AoE stuff that does damage to morale, but the Necron Warriors have got no morale, so I won't do any problem to them. Soul Walker with his big spinny gun, doing what he can, but heavy destroyers now backing up the Necron forward line. That's exactly what you want. That Viper will now stand no chance for a Mance on the front lines here. Quite a mobile selection of destroyers and heavy destroyers for the Necrons at the moment. Soul Walker, though, resisting that incoming damage for a little while, though. Holding these guys back for now, allowing the Dark Eldar to... Well, you're going to go for some wrecks. They're sending them in one at a time. Not sure if this is the wisest thing. I want to hold them back a little bit, build up a fighting force before then sending them in en masse. You have a Void Spinner, super heavy. Large piece of artillery. And yeah, the Necrons being all bunched up over here. That'll be amazing for them if they start firing. But needs to get them. There we go. Taking those mighty Jawbreakers of Doom. Huge Eldritch Storm for every single one that's fired off. Not sure how much damage it does to vehicles. They're not too much damage. The Necrons do have quite amazing health regen at this stage of the game. So need constant firepower on the go there. Autarch has been rebuilt. Shining Spears as well, but not much of a front line for the Eldar and Dark Eldar at the moment. I'm going to go for some more Soul Walkers though. Imperial got a massive Cassicans. So they've decided to go up against... Instead of like going for massive vehicles this time, they're now going to go for a massive infantry. Also... Oh, what are you? You are a priest. Oh, what are you? Oh, Vox Operative Temple. So, ability to call in some big artillery. Not needing to worry about having too many basilisks. Plenty of melters on these guys as well. So even if the Vipers come back out, they'll have more than enough DPS to deal with them, but priests need to activate their abilities to keep them alive, as we can already see just one line of Kasrkins being mulched and deaded. Wraithguard, very tanky, very lethal. Are equipping themselves with some D cannons for taking care of masses of heavy infantry. On Uber platform for the Eldar. John Cena being forcing the Eldar a little bit further backwards, but that's fine. As the super heavy Void Spinner is taking care of these Necron warriors one blast at a time. There used to be a lot of them down here, now there isn't so many. But then again, in saying that, Necron Lord does have his Resurrection Orb, so he can rebuild all those guys, but they are spread out a little bit, to be fair. Oh no, you've got the Ghost Walker to recycle people. Fair enough, that makes sense. Rack's doing what they can, but they won't do much against the... Actually, I don't know, they're doing alright against the Ghost Walker. Ghost Walker is quite lightly armoured, to be fair. I need to be careful, though. You are outnumbered, outgunned. Ghost Ark is blown up. Imperial Guard not too keen on pushing any further forward. And there's a lot of invisible stuff. What's going on from the Eldar perspective at the moment? They've got their heavy support portal. Gonna go for an Eldritch Spire as well. Clawed Fiend from the Dark Eldar. Very fast demon armor. Seen it before on a Discord game that I was watching. That I can't remember if we actually saved the replay, if it's somewhere deep from the recesses of the Discord channel. But someone basically built 3 of these, ignored everyone, and killed everyone's HQs more or less straight away. So, love to see if the Clawed Fiend is used for such purposes in this scenario. And the Imperial Guard needs to get something substantial online. They are going for a lot of basilisks, which I'm not sure if the basilisks are going to deal with you. Well, going to deal with the enemy that well. I mean, if you were going up against a lot of infantry, fair play to you, but you've got a Clawed Fiend, in fact 2 Clawed Fiends on the go here, and the super heavy tank. Dear oh dear, that artillery, absolute insane damage against the Kasrkins. Managing to take on those Wraith Guards though, but cannot afford to spend too much time sitting around over here, just being wiped out by the artillery. Clawed Fiend's now going to come over and say hello. Also got a a Soul Storm, shall I say it? More Necro Warriors being resurrected. Yeah, slow approach from the Soul Storm. Could have probably spawned a little bit better on top of those guys, but hey ho, we'll take it. Slow but steady wins the race. Clawed Fiend's now charging in. And the Imperial Guard have got nothing at the moment. They are doing a fair bit of damage against Claw Fiends though. Those Melter Guns. I'm sure the Melter Guns are particularly good against Demon Armor. Priests now activating their priestly abilities. Field Command being wiped out there. Imperial Conscripts are occupying that Field Command now out in the open. But actually, the Clawed Fiends have been taken out, which is quite... Not to underplay that feat of martial prowess, but yeah, they're quite difficult to take on, those angry cats. Got triple webway assemblies here, not sure why. Why are you just being... Oh right, you're moving them around for whatever reason. Okay, fair enough. Is it just so you've got big chunky buildings that take a while to take on, and you're just using it in the hope that you would slow down the enemy approach? Maybe. Maybe. Rags are holding on there. Necron Warriors don't quite have the DPS to take them on. Also see a Council in here as well. So Necron Warriors being shocked and chagrined into submission. Imperial Guard conscripts attempting to move over onto this side. I've seen that Eldritch Spire being moved around as well. Got the Destruction Stone add-on for the Eldritch Spire as well, so we'll need to see that snuck into the enemy side of things for it to do any kind of damage. Annihilation Barge being surrounded by some racks. Quickly taken out. Dark Eldar, absolutely impressive, amazing close combat capabilities in the later stages of the game. So that might be the case of the Eldar tending to long-range stuff. Dark Eldar taking care of things face-to-face. There's a lot of floor lasagna being made from the conscripts. Trying to stab away at the Tower of Loathing. Does not seem to be doing them any favours there. One blast from that Void Spinner is all you need. And just look at that, you can barely see the floor. All the dead bodies on the go here. Tier Council now capturing the critical location in the centre. And yeah, it's just a case of build up the big units for the northern team and try and smash your way through the defensive lines of the southern team. And Orta just completely ignoring everything. Taking out another listening post down over here, I imagine. Now, the Imperial Guard and the Necrons, it's not all said and done for them. They do have options as the game goes on. I mean, we've already got a second Necron monolith for the Necrons, so they are able to constantly build up their forces, but not seeing much elite stuff from the Necrons at the moment. They can get their, what's it called, this like little caterpillar thing. That's quite remarkable in close combat. Also very tanky as well. Kind of like a natural opponent to the Clawed Fiend. Not nearly as mobile or as damage dealing, but get a few of them on the go. It'll be quite alright. If you build up that Ancient Pyramid for the Necrons as well, get that into tier 2, it does constant damage over time. But yeah, just Imperial Guard committing to the Cassicans. Yeah, I think they need to start switching out into some more vehicles. Surprised I'm not seeing a mass of Lehman Russes at the moment. I'm seeing armoured commands, but yeah, I suppose that now that they've got the armoured commands, they should be getting some very specific kinds of Lehman Russes on the go. Ones with the Vanquisher cannons or whatever you call them. Some Storm Guardians, what are you doing at this stage of the game? Just saying hello, I imagine, but being very quickly taken out by those Basilisks. Although in saying that though, the Basilisks have kind of hemmed in the Eldar and Dark Eldar. They now cannot go for any kind of mass warp spider or mass witches, as they will be taken out by those Basilisks. So, you know, they're kind of like pulling off about half of the Eldar and Dark Eldar roster. And the Eldar are now summoning for peace, or suing for peace even. So no aggression going on at the moment. Everyone just chilling out. Lots of sparkling going on. While it's going on, let's do an economy check. 60% and 289, and 222 and 154, compared to 234 and 90, and 404 and 558. Probably down to all those, I mean, webway assemblies allowing them to build as many plasma generators as humanly possible. Which in a stalemate kind of game like this, that's what we kind of want. Oh, the Dark Eldar, they're going to go for donating lots of souls. So the way that they do their massive endgame units and buildings is that, or units should I say, is that they've got to build those soul cages, and they basically just donate like it's like a redonkulous amount of souls to donate. But once they've gone for so many, they're able to get just huge amounts of units and their Dominator Titan, or what's it called, the Paint Agony Titan. That's what it's called. And that Titan's no joke, man. Definitely the sexiest Titan in Ultimate Apocalypse, I would have to say. Do have triple Clawed Fiends. And yeah, this is going to be a recipe for disaster if the Necrons don't deal with it quick, sharpish. Smack bang in the middle. Chewing on that Necron Monolith. Do like how the armor of the Necron Monolith glows a little bit green every time it takes damage. But cannot leave these guys for any length of time. Got some Lich Guard on the go. Can these guys kill a Clawed Fiend as quick as they like? I don't think they can. There are 3 of them. Bill of Scabs get in there, try and repair the Monolith. Sadly, they have not been able to repair it. That has put the Necron player massive behind in the tech tree. Now they're going to turn their attention to the economy side of things. And Imperial Guard going to come in to attempt to defend their ally. Which, as we've seen, the Kaskans did do a fairly decent job against the Clawed Fiends. But a nuke going off into the Imperial Guard base here. Doesn't do amazing damage against buildings, though, by the looks of things. Nope. In fact, yep, just barely any damage. I mean, they've almost killed a lot of plasma generators. But I imagine that nuclear ability more turns towards the killing of infantry. And this summoning core, somehow resistant to the effects of the... Oh, right, okay, never mind me, it's the Necron Lord is in here with his chrono trigger, slowing them down. Seems to have had an effect on their attack speed as well. One Lehman Russ over here. Necron Warriors have came back home. Not sure why they walked home there. They could have probably teleported, unless of course they already teleported earlier on. And there we go, now the Ancient Summoning Core is being slapped down. And what are the Imperial Guard doing? They're just not helping their ally whatsoever. Thought, you know what, help yourself. We might be allies, but we're not friends. Foul Xenos. Got Lord Destroyer in there. Potential to destroy some Lords. Also Cryptech. Clawed Fiends seem to be stuck on the actual Necrons themselves. And another nuke is going off as well. The Eldar able to basically build up all their economy unimpeded. I mean, there's been practically no harassment on the Dark Eldar or Eldar. We've seen plenty of Vipers and shining bright spears coming down to the southern side, but no Valkyries or anything for the Northern team. They have got quite a substantial fighting force though, so they might be able to push on down over here, see if they can do some damage, but I mean, that's still, I mean, it'll take a while for them to shoot through all this stuff. They've got more Clawed Fiends coming on the way. Avatar of Cain in the middle, shish kebabing these Cassicans. Okay, them left, right and centre. And the Clawed Fiends have been taken out. No, but just good lord, this nuke is still going on. No more economy for the Imperial Gun. In fact, what is your economy at the moment? Yeah, no more green coming in. And which is a shame considering that they've got the Lehman Russ production on the go. The Soulstorm being summoned forth. Yeah, the Kaskans don't think it was the right call to make. Not with all this big stuff on the field. Though they were transitioning out into a Lehman Russ Executioner. Oh, what should I say? I assume that we're going to go for a couple more of those. Do have a Baneblade sat in the Mars Pattern Command here. But yeah, there we go. They're going to summon it in. What kind of Lehman Russ are you? Oh, Baneblade, sorry. You are just a regular Baneblade. Classic traditional Baneblade. Got a fake Restore Monolith coming in as well. Void's Spinner Super Heavy will probably want to get out of there just in case it's a real one. Don't want to spend time figuring that out. With the combination of a Baneblade and the Kaskan somehow surviving that. Well, I mean, they do have priests in their ranks as well, so probably use their priestly abilities to keep them resisting all that damage. Now managing to recapture the centre here. But is it false hope? Considering that every time, well, for every second that's ticking by now, the Northern team are just getting supercharged with their economy. Are you rebuilding your stuff? Yes, you are. That's good. Necron Monolith also being built down over on this side. I assume that this Necron Monolith will be the one that is upgraded. We're going to have to heavily rely on the Imperial Guard's tech for the late game stuff. Still do have that Lich Guard squad on the field there. And they don't go down lightly. Got some Immortals over here. Barely scratching the surface on these webway assemblies there. Super heavy. Like, you need to take this guy down. At some point, they must notice that the artillery is being used. If they can destroy it, that will drastically reduce the amount of damage that the Eldar are throwing about. Just got teleporting in there. Taking care of the ancient Wraith Guard. Like your regular Wraith Guard, but a lot older, a lot more wiser. Necron's just massing out those Necron warriors here. Fiend Claw patting its way on over before deciding against it. Before deciding to go for it again. Make up your mind, Claw Fiend. Do your stuff or don't even bother. And peace again. Must be very frustrating for the Southern team every time they start to make some progress on the northern side. The Eldar just say, no thank you, no more fighting for the next 60 seconds. Giving the Dark Eldar a chance to bring forth that great Cabal Citadel. It's quite a significant structure. Once it's been built, basically just constant levels of fire. Much like the Necron Ancient Pyramid, once that gets going. Though, mind you, in saying that, it's prime time for the Kaskans to get into position here. They could kind of ignore this front line of Uber platforms and just go straight into the Eldar's backline. I mean, to be fair, all their plasma generators are kind of being decayed out, but it's not the worst idea. I mean, the Eldar have got practically nothing to really help them. I mean, they've got a couple of Soul Walkers and a Void Spinner Super Heavy, but apart from that, all their weaponry has been put down on these support platforms. So if they've just pushed in. But yeah, actually, to be fair, the northern side has very little in the way of combat troops online at the moment. Eldritch Spire looking for a Destruction Stone. Standard stuff. But the Eldritch Spire is not standing up too well to this massive just massive melter gun fire. Morale being broken using the Dark Eldar. Scream if you want to go faster ability. Baneblade should really get involved in some sort of combat. Go on, Dazza, be brave. Oh dear. There goes the Destruction Spire. And all the Kasrkins are deaded. That's a great shame. Baneblade taking care of that Tower of Loathing, but should really be contributing to the main fight in the middle here. That Void Spinner Super Heavy got hit me all over him. But no. Been shot down by the mass of damage. And I mean, what else can the Southern team do? They're taking up with the Necron Monolith again. But another nuke. Good lord. Topper just with no chill. Constantly bringing down those big weapons. Well, that's what you get if you don't sort out the enemy economy. You're gonna have to face a load of nukes. Clawed Fiends, they don't mind all the chaos and stuff. Also, the Dark Eldar bringing down one of their nukes as well. It's basically a beam of light that just fires at everything nearby. It was like a mini nuke almost, really.
Guardsman reporting.
A puff of purple smoke. Now the Clawed Fiends are going to eat away at the Necron Monolith. Necron's over here, still alive there. Being obstinate. But again, showing that the Northern team don't have much actually on the field. They might seem intimidating with all this stuff on the front lines, but if you ignore this stuff, there's a lot more. Here comes the Great Cabal Fortress just firing gradually at everything. Does a good amount of damage. I mean, not a huge amount of damage, but, you know, no matter where that tank goes now, it will be fired at. Clawed Fiends have taken care of all the stuff over here. The big nuclear storm has finished for the Eldar. And it's just a sad time in the pipelines for the Necrons and the Eldar. Or for the Necrons and the Imperial Guard, sorry. Ancient Wraith Guard slowly making their way down over here. Does look like that the field command will be the last vestige of hope of a soul storm as well. Down over on these Bill of Scarabs. They're doing damage to the Clawed Fiends there. No, you are not. They are immune to Soulstorm. God, that is a hard word to say. They are immune to Soulstorm shenanigans. Necrons have been deleted. And now it's just Imperial Guard left to their own devices here. Human Russ is attempting to take down the Avatar of Cain. But he's quite content with just slaying this field command. Well, a really good game from both sides. That early game, well, early to mid with the Imperial Guard and the Necrons able to hold on to the centre point and make some good inroads at the beginning against the Dark Eldar especially. But their unit composition, I don't think, really helped them that much. The moment you see that, well, not necessarily, well, they didn't see it, did they, for very long, but when they see those big white spherical balls being dropped on your infantry, that is a sign to go for some kind of airplay. I reckon if they went for a couple of, what should we call them, those Valkyries could come on over and either destroy the super heavy artillery or at least take care of some of this plasma generator stuff. Yeah, I mean, I understand as well that they've got some, they've got the webway gates to infiltrate stuff. I mean, if you've got these guys over here and you then deep strike some airborne Cassicans with a priest, not a priest, a psycho in them, be able to spot stuff. Or even your long-range scanner as well, just to see stuff. That would have certainly kept the Eldar nice and sweet, but that is the that is the game, boys and girls. That is the game indeed. So thank you very much for sending this game into the Discord, boys. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 enough gets you one extra game a week. And there is also a Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As been a Slant Shark, pleasure as always, never short. Now, I'll see you in a bit. Peace.